Haven't subscribed to the channel yet? Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. A twist of fate and text messages. Emer and Sarah lived in a picturesque suburban neighborhood in America, complete with a charming house, a playful golden retriever named Buddy, and their adorable 3-year-old son, Noah. Emer was a hardworking man, dedicating long hours as a project manager at a tech firm to provide the best for his family. Sarah was a stay-at-home mom, taking care of Noah and managing the household. Lately, Amber noticed that Sarah had become increasingly suspicious of him. She would frequently check his phone, ask probing questions about his whereabouts, and even quiz him about his best friend Mike. "Where did you and Mike go after work yesterday?" Sarah asked casually one evening while chopping vegetables. Amber looked up from his laptop, puzzled. "We just grabbed a coffee and chatted about the upcoming project." "Why do you ask?" "Oh, no reason," she replied, but he could sense the tension in her voice. Amber shrugged it off, attributing her behavior to stress from staying home all day with a toddler. But it seemed that ever since they got married, Sarah's trust issues had escalated. One Friday night, Amber received a long-awaited promotion. Overjoyed, he called Mike. "Buddy, guess who's the new department head?" Mike laughed on the other end. "Congratulations, man. This calls for a celebration. How about drinks tonight?" "Absolutely. I'll meet you at our usual spot," Amber agreed. That evening, Emmer and Mike joined a group of friends at their favorite bar. The atmosphere was lively and the beer flowed freely. To Ember's promotion, Mike toasted, raising his glass. "May your emails be shorter and your paychecks longer," joked Dave, another friend. Emmer chuckled. "I'll drink to that. And here's hoping I don't accidentally hit reply all on confidential emails." They all laughed, clinking glasses. As the night went on, the jokes got cornier and the laughter louder. "Why did the programmer quit his job?" Mike asked with a grin. "Why?" The group chimed in. "Because he didn't get a raise," Mike quipped. Groans and chuckles filled the table. "That's it. No more drinks for you." Ember laughed, patting Mike on the back. A while later, Mike excused himself to use the restroom, leaving his phone on the bar counter. As Ember took a sip of his drink, Mike's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen out of habit. The name Sarah flashed across the display. Emmer did a double take. "Wait a minute," he muttered. "That's my wife's name." Curiosity piqued, he watched as several more messages popped up. "Can't stop thinking about last time. Are we still on for Sunday morning? Miss you." Emmer's heart pounded. Unable to resist, he picked up the phone. There was no passcode since Mike had just been using it. He opened the chat thread and began reading. His eyes widened with each message. "Sarah, you free on Sunday? Emmer thinks I'm visiting my sister." "Mike, perfect. Can't wait to see you. Same place?" "Sarah, actually, let's try somewhere new. Any ideas?" "Mike, how about the Pinecrest Hotel? Room 214? "Sarah, oh, fancy. I like it. By the way, Ember has no clue. He's so oblivious it's almost cute." Ember felt a mix of anger, betrayal, and a strange urge to laugh at the absurdity of the situation. Taking a deep breath, he decided to play along. He typed, "Mike, Emir, actually, I've got a better idea for a place. Meet me at Maplewood Park at 10 a.m. There's something special I want to show you." Almost immediately, Sarah replied, "Sarah, sounds mysterious. Can't wait." Emir deleted the messages he had sent and the ones she had just replied with, ensuring the conversation looked untouched. Mike returned, slapping Emir on the back. Man, the line for the bathroom was longer than the queue on Black Friday. Emir forced a grin. "Tell me about it." They continued the evening, but Emir's mind was elsewhere. He was formulating a plan. Sunday morning arrived. Sarah was getting ready to leave. "I'm heading to my sister's for the day," she called out, grabbing her purse. Emmer looked up from his coffee and newspaper. "Tell her I said hi," he replied with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. As soon as the door closed, Emmer sprang into action. He had arranged for his mother to watch Noah for the morning. "Grandma's here to play," he announced to Noah, who giggled with delight. 10 minutes later, Ember headed to Maplewood Park. It was a quiet, secluded area with tall trees and winding paths, the perfect place for a private confrontation. He spotted Sarah sitting on a bench, looking around expectantly. She was dressed up more than usual, wearing the red dress he had once complimented. Emmer approached from behind, his footsteps muffled by the grass. "Expecting someone?" he asked casually. Sarah jumped, whipping around. Her face went pale. "Emmer, what are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing," he replied, hands in his pockets. I thought you were at work," she stammered. "On a Sunday. Interesting. Or did you think I was too oblivious to notice?" His tone sharpened. Her eyes widened. "What are you talking about?" He pulled out his phone and showed her the screenshots he had taken of their conversation. "You might recognize these." Sarah's face flushed, then turned ashen. "I can explain. Please do. I'd love to hear how my wife is secretly meeting my best friend behind my back. Tears welled up in her eyes. It just happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Emmer shook his head, a bitter laugh escaping his lips. You didn't mean for it to go this far, so sneaking around mocking me in your messages, that was accidental? She reached out to touch his arm. Emmer, please. He stepped back. Save it, Sarah. The trust is broken. Just then, they both heard footsteps approaching. Mike appeared, a confused smile on his face. Hey, Sarah, He stopped abruptly upon seeing Emer. Surprise! Emmer exclaimed sarcastically. Funny running into you here. Mike's eyes darted between Emer and Sarah. This isn't what it looks like. Really? Because it looks like you've been betraying your best friend. Emer shot back. Mike raised his hands defensively. Thumber, listen, man, I can explain. By all means, Emmer said, gesturing grandly. Enlighten me. Mike stammered. We didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake. The classic. It was a mistake defense. Did you trip and fall into betrayal? Emmer's voice was laced with sarcasm. Sarah sobbed quietly, covering her face with her hands. Emmer took a step toward Mike. You were like a brother to me. And you do this? Mike lowered his gaze. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. Ember's fist clenched. You're sorry? Before Mike could react, Emmer delivered a solid punch to his face. Mike stumbled backward, falling onto the grass. That's for the betrayal, Emmer said coldly. Mike groaned, holding his jaw. I deserve that. Emmer looked down at him. Stay away from me and my family, we're done. Turning to Sarah, he said, I'll be contacting a lawyer. I think it's best we go our separate ways. She looked up, tears streaming down her face. Emmer, please don't do this. Think about No. He paused. I am thinking about No. He deserves parents who respect each other, and clearly, that's not the case here. Without another word, Emmer walked away, leaving Sarah and Mike in stunned silence. In the weeks that followed, Emmer filed for divorce. He and Sarah communicated only about arrangements for Null. It was tough, but Emmer knew he had made the right decision. One afternoon, while packing up some of his belongings, Emmer received a text from an unknown number. Hey man, it's Mike. I just wanted to say I'm truly sorry. I hope someday you can forgive me. Emmer deleted the message without replying. As time went on, Emmer focused on his son and his career. He found solace in spending quality time with Noah, taking Buddy for walks, and even picking up a new hobby, photography. One day, while at the park taking photos, a friendly voice called out, Beautiful day for pictures, isn't it? He turned to see a woman about his age, holding a camera similar to his. She had a warm smile and kind eyes. Sure is, Emmer replied, smiling back. They struck up a conversation about photography, the park, and life in general. For the first time in a long while, Emmer felt a spark of happiness. Maybe, just maybe, new beginnings were on the horizon. The end.